Hey guys, in today's video we're going to go over difference between open balance and the overdue balance for vendor side. Customer side is similar too, so you can use the same concept on customer side too. So now before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and do put in the comment if there are any other videos you would like me to make. Okay, so let's get started. First, we're going to go to vendor center, which is by going to expenses and vendors. And I'm going to show you three different examples. So let's start with BNY. Okay, so you might have noticed sometimes the open balance is different than overdue payment. Why is that? Because open balance is anything that you have opened with that vendor, any bills or credit memos you have opened with that vendor. Now, overdue includes the bills that that are overdue basically, that are past the due date. So if a bill was due on the 15th of let's say April, right, that's still open, that's normal open balance, so it's going to be included in the open balance only, right, and not the overdue. Now if a bill was due last month, you have net 15 with your vendor and the bill was due March of 15th, right, so now it's overdue, then it's going to be a part of the overdue payment number. Okay, so let's look at it. Now here, see how we have an invoice from January 2025 here. Now this is overdue. If you click on this bill, this was due this was due on January 16th. Now that's past due date now. So that's why it's included in overdue. So why is our open balance different? Open balance is different because now there is another bill from April as well, which is being added to that bill. So that's why you have $600 here. Now this is not the only situation where you'll see the difference here. Now there are other situations which can get very confusing. So let's look at the second vendor now, which is here our test vendor. So in this case, we have a credit memo from October of 2024. Now with credit memos, it works a little differently than the bills. Credit memos only count towards the current balance, like the open balance, not towards the overdue payment. So even though credit is due since October, it's not gonna show like the overdue payment as like negative 700. Okay, so it's going to be counted only towards the open balance of $1,000. So here's the $1,000 new bill, recent bill, minus the $700 past credit, and $300 is your open balance. Now this is the second situation, right? Now third one is a little trickier. So let's go to the third vendor. Let's see what's going on here. Now this is the trickiest one. Sometimes you will see overdue payment will show like an open balance, like $1,500 here, but then if you look at the open balance number, it's negative. What does that mean? How could it be that we have $1,500 overdue but then 500 negative, like, or credit with vendor? So what that means is, see how in January we had a bill for this vendor for $1,500, which is showing up as overdue, right here. So and then we have a credit with this vendor. Doesn't matter, it's from January, it's from whatever, it's only going to count towards open balance, it's not going to count towards overdue. Okay, so now that's why we have a $2,000 credit minus $1,500 bill, and we have a $500 open balance. This 500 is negative actually, which means the vendor owes you now. So in future when you enter more bills, those bills can be offset with that $500 credit. Now, these problems would not occur if you look at a report and correct these things. For example, let's look at the reports. Which report do we need to pull? Okay, so the report is called unpaid bills. Unpaid bills. When I pull this report, it's going to show me these discrepancies. For example, BNY is 506. Okay, this is easier one. This is not a discrepancy really. This one is $1,000 bill, but $700 credit as well. So why not offset them? So this way it only shows you $300 open balance. Now, same thing with this one. Bill is 1,500, vendor credit is $2,000. Why not offset it so we don't have any overdue bills? So it's not confusing anymore. So let's do that. We are going to go back to vendors. We're going to go to this PLAS vendor. We're going to click on new transaction, expense. And I'm going to add these two here. So when I do that, see how it's taking this bill and offsetting it with the vendor credit. We have a $2,000 credit, but we're only going to apply 1,500 because that's the amount of open bills we have right now in QuickBooks. Okay, we can pick the right account. It's a zero payment anyway, so it doesn't matter which account you pick. Pick the right date, the date you're offsetting it. So my vendor credit date is 1/8, so I'm going to pick the same one. And actually, if the bill is for April, for example, you'll pick the April date here, not the January date here. And reference number, there is no reference number really. So save. Now, if you look at this vendor, see how there's no overdue balance here, overdue payment here, and we only have like $500 open balance. Now it's pretty clear that we are owed $500 from our vendor. Let's go to the other one now, the test vendor. Okay, in this case, pretty simple. We have $1,000 bill, $700 credit. We could just go here too, and we can say mark as paid. When we do that, $700 credit gets applied here. I'm gonna update it. I'm only gonna make it 700 because I'm not really making a payment on the $1,000 bill yet. All I'm doing is I'm offsetting it with the existing credit. So the bill date was 4/8, and that's the date I'm going to offset this bill with my existing credit. Okay, so save and close. Now see how simple this is. This is $300 and you only see one transaction of $300 open. That's how you do it. Now on the customer side, only thing that's different is the report that you need to pull for customers. So the report name is open invoices. So if you pull open invoices report, you will see these type of discrepancies in there for customer side. I don't think I have any in my file. Yeah, I don't have any in my file, but if you do, then they will show up here. Okay, so that's it. Happy accounting.